Aloha! That's right, I'm here on the beautiful island of Hawaii for episode 43. Can you believe it? And sipping on some lilikoi passion fruit, which is all over the island. It is amazing. So today I'm going to talk to you about your external environment because I'm in Hawaii. What better time to speak to you about an external environment, right? And I'm really going to talk to you about the power of your internal environment and how you can make both of those work for or sometimes against you. Stay tuned.
I'm Simone, she's TSED. I'm Simone, she's TSED. I'm Simone, they call me TSED.
Like that.
I'm Simone, she's TSED. I'm Simone, she's TSED. I'm Simone, they call me TSED.
Like that. Like that. All right, so let's jump right on in. The power of our external environment is undeniable. I look around at this beautiful, lush greenery and this beautiful island and hearing waves crashing just as lightly down the road right into the ocean and just looking and loving everything that's around me. That's of course going to have an effect on my internal environment, how I'm feeling inside. I'm going to look outside, see beauty, and then feel really beautiful inside, or feel very appreciative inside, or feel very thankful, or just in the state of admiration and awe. So of course my external environment has a huge impact on my internal environment. But did you realize that we could actually create our own internal environment as well? It's all about your ability to navigate your own thoughts, your own feelings, your emotions in a direction that helps you to feel what you want to feel, to experience what you want to experience, and to be focused on what you want to be focused on, despite your external environment. So while it's easy to sit in this beautiful greenery and say, I feel great, I mean, that's obvious. The external environment is helping me to feel great. I am saying that it is within each of us to have the power to sit in an environment that's not that great and still attune our internal environment for greatness. I'll tell you what, people growing up without money, with really negative situations, they do it all the time. This is how poor people see all poverty around them and sometimes grow up to be very rich or pull themselves out because somewhere inside of them, they maintained an internal environment of being deserving and worthy of more, worthy of wealth. They kept alive this internal knowing that they could one day come out of the present environment. That is the power of knowing your internal environment and knowing how to navigate and tweak and adjust, and most of all, focus it in the direction you want to go. So, I mean, come on. Is it easy to feel happy and blissful out here? Duh. But the real power is being able to be in an environment that's not so great and still being able to access and activate that same blissful feeling. So how do you do it? By knowing your tools. So here we go again, mentioning to you the power of affirmations, thoughts, emotions, and how they all work together. I'm not going to stop telling you all this because it works. It really does work. And as we get deeper into the science of it, we start to understand why it works and how it works. And we can do it consistently every day, all day. Now, wait a minute. Hold on. I am not for even 1 second saying to you that you will never be sad again because you're just going to ignore everything in your external environment and just be the happiest person on earth and never frown. I'm not saying that at all. What I'm saying is that when the external environment does start to get to you, when it starts to impact your internal environment, you're going to start to have the power, the tools, and the desire, and the know-how to make a different choice for your internal stability. So before I break down my reminder of exactly how to navigate your internal environment, let me remind you who this is for and who this benefits. So if you're someone who's dealt with bullying, well, that's your external environment trying to tell you that you're awful or make you feel bad every single day. You do have the power, no, I didn't say it was easy, but you do have the power to navigate your internal environment so you can still feel valuable and worthy. And funny enough, there's something that happens in a biochemical place that when you start working your internal environment, you'll find that the bullies don't think you're that fun to play with anymore, and they tend to move on. You're just no longer a really good target because you already know your value. The best part about bullying for someone who has that mindset is that they can get to you, is that they, from the external, can get into your internal environment and really bother you and really make you feel how they want you to feel. So the power in that and the way you take your power back is by knowing, hey, I hear you. And what you're saying is oh so aggravating. And every now and then it does touch my internal environment. But for the most part, I do the work. And I know how to make sure that my internal environment continues to scream to me, I am worthy, I am valuable, I don't care what you say. And that takes work. And that's exactly the type of work I'm talking about when I say, let's work on maintaining our internal environment. Always be willing to love the external environment and use it to help project you forward if it's there to serve you. But the minute you see that that external environment, that person, that bully, that job, whatever it is not serving you, I want you to exercise these tools. Number one comes straight from NLP. Let's talk about your target emotions. Your target is where you want to be, what you want to feel. So figure out what it is that you really want to experience and make sure that you keep that in mind as your target. Next, you're going to aim with your thoughts and your feelings to hit that target right on the mark. All right, so here's a specific example. Let's say that you say your target is to feel valuable. I want to feel valuable and worthy. You've got to ask yourself, what does that feel like and what thoughts support that? Then what I want you to do is make sure that you're focusing your mind on the thoughts that support that feeling and elevating the emotions in your heart, the sensation in your chest, in your body, that thought and that desire, that target emotion is real and accessible. Give your body practice with that emotion. So I might stand there and say to myself, I feel valuable. I feel worthy. And then this feeling comes over my chest. It maybe feels warm or it feels expansive. I feel powerful. I feel big. I feel really strong. And I feel it welling up in my chest. I'm very focused on that heart center while I'm issuing these thoughts that match the target emotion. The problem with most of us is that we're thinking about the things we don't want. We're thinking about our non-target emotions. I don't want to feel sad. I don't want to feel worthless. I don't want to feel bad. Well, unfortunately, when you're pumping those thoughts, you've got matching chemicals flowing through your body and your heart is resonating on that. Oh, bad, sad, unworthy. And that puts you in a place that where your internal environment is not at all echoing what you say your target emotion is. So here's what I want you to do again. Get those thoughts that match the target that you want to hit and elevate your emotions to match. It may sound simple at first, or maybe even sounds complicated. Either way, you're right. It can be a complicated process if you haven't practiced it, if you're not sure what you're doing. And of course, if your body is super addicted to those other emotions you've been pumping through, I can't, I'm not, it'll never work. Your body is used to it and it's constantly pumping chemicals that match that and is going to continue to do so until you train your body otherwise. So that's the part that takes some work. But the work in and of itself is pretty simple in its concept, right? What it is that we're trying to do. Think about what you want. Focus on what you want and feel that in your heart even before you get it. Fall in love with that potential future you want more than you're in love with the memory or addicted to the memory of how things were when they were negative. That's it for me today, you guys. I want to thank my external environment today for helping along my internal environment and making things feel really easy to access. But I'm also going to thank my internal environment and myself and my target emotions because I have the clarity to know I can reach this feeling whether this beautiful, beautiful greenery or this view is behind me or not. And in the toughest of times, if you've been practicing this, you'll find that you'll be able to access the most potent, powerful, and useful internal state that you need to thrive in any external situation. Didn't say it was going to be super easy. I didn't say it was going to be super easy, but I did say it is worth it. I'll see you guys next Sunday. Bye. Aloha.